Basically, I'm in charge of the print side of the business. So any customers that come to us with any print sort of projects that they may have, then obviously that gets handled straight over to me, and then I will go and speak to the suppliers and get print quotes and hopefully win the jobs over to supply all our current customers that we have.
You've got to have a specialist knowledge in that case of the presumably the market, but also what a customer's needs are, because they might come to you saying, I want to look like this or I want it to look like that, but you're the guy who's got to translate all of that into something that another specialist can put into practice.
Yeah, we have a graphic design team behind us that we can, they'll produce the graphics for us, and then it's my job to turn it into print, whether it be T-shirt print, business cards, anything that you can print on. That's my job, to get the most competitive price and be, as competitive as we can be in the market to win the print jobs.
How has the market moved in the last 12 months? Because it must have been under quite substantial pressure one way or another.
It's been okay, to be honest. I think that you can almost, use suppliers to get the best prices. You can always say, well, I've got a better price from so-and-so, and we can provide you with a good price, and then you can almost, they're quite competitive, because obviously they've not been as busy as they should have been through the pandemic, and with construction people, they had a lot of stuff because they were one of the industries that carried on working through what was going on. So from that point of view, you were able to try and get people better prices for what we were providing for them. So
you've got to be able to deliver on a client's requirements, though. And if the market has, if not turned up its toes, then if it has shrunk, if it is contracted because of the amount of business going on, does that mean that various print suppliers, material suppliers have either been on furlough to the point of view where they couldn't deliver on the timescales that ordinarily you would have? In other words, how fleet of foot have you had to be able to carry on serving the clients that expect service from you?
One of the only things we found was the problem was cardboard, because everyone else was supplying online. Everything went online, so people were sending out in boxes. So everything else, supply-wise, we was able to get hold of materials. It was fine. It was just cardboard and packaging. We had a couple of people interested in some packaging that we supplied, and we were quoting 9, 10, 11 weeks, which, when people are supplying different things, they need that packaging to send their products out. So it was, touch and go, but we did eventually source some cardboard from different suppliers, so we was able to produce. But apart from that, I think everything else supply-wise was okay. It's
bizarre, because in a world where, for the retail market, for people like me, for members of the general public, we're so used to seeing cardboard because so many people are doing online ordering, there's acres and acres of the stuff. But I suppose if you're trying to put it into production for a client, actually it becomes a prized commodity, and presumably price sensitive too.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. It was the price did go up on cardboard because they knew it was in demand. So, as I say, apart from cardboard, we was quite lucky, but quite fortunate really about what we was able to get and not get. But people understand. People are aware of that. As long as you just make your customers aware of what situation you're in, then they was quite understanding, and that was the way it was, so it's fine.
What does that mean for the business when it comes to things like recycling? Because that's a real buzzword at the moment for all kinds of organisations. Sustainability is a big issue for all kinds of organisations. I know print houses, for instance, that are using, if not recycled inks, then they're using sustainable inks that are sourced from a certain area. Is there a dialogue that goes on with that sort of thing?
Yeah, some people, like to use the recyclable inks and materials. The problem we had, a lot of our materials were recyclable, but the inks wasn't. So if people are printing on them, then they wouldn't be able to recycle. But we've now found a printer that can actually provide recyclable inks, which we then pass on to customers, which makes them satisfied. So then they can obviously recycle as well. So from that point of view, it's just being aware of the current market and current what's out there really.
The last 12 months has seen a huge change in the way a lot of businesses do what they do. Online has, for a number of years, become a very big issue when it comes to retail sales on the high street, for instance. Do you perceive that with the last 12 months now behind us, and perhaps this final step out of the lockdown now a few weeks away, do you perceive that online is now going to overtake perhaps traditional print? I know you produce a lot of magazines, for instance, and that means a lot of print and all the infrastructure that goes with it. Do you think the market is now more online sensitive and more online friendly in terms of consumption?
Let's hope not, because obviously, that's what we do, and that's my job role. So I don't think, people like to read stuff. They like to have stuff in their hand to do. I know it can say, like, a lot of the big restaurant chains, they've gone digital. But, from our point of view, there's always going to be print around. People like flyers, business cards, everyone still likes to handle print stuff. So, I think a lot of people will buy online, but, still doesn't rule out the fact that, people will need print and point of sale stuff, to be honest.
There must be a great parallel to all of this, though, because here we are talking about your career now in print and how you pull together various suppliers for a client. It wasn't that many years ago when you were pulling together with teammates on the field. You're an ex-professional footballer. What was the background to going into football and the route that ultimately saw you into a world of print?
Well, where do I start? When I was 16, I became a YTS at Aston Villa, where I was there for 4 or 5 years. Managed to make one first team appearance at Stamford Bridge, so my claim to fame, so to speak.
Dear diary, good day.
Yeah, in the Carling Cup, that was. Then unfortunately things didn't work out there, so I went to Blackpool, where I played there for 5 years. Great times there. We played at Millennium Stadium 4 or 5 times, and then sort of came on the slippery slope of age getting not on my side, so to speak. So dropped down the divisions, which found playing part-time for a local area around Kettering, Northampton, Brackley, sort of local teams, which I found extremely difficult because I tried to have a job and work. So usually I was just going to work at 10 o'clock, finishing at 12 o'clock and socialising, playing golf, going horse racing, doing the glorified
You're
things.
painting the picture. We get the general gist of it. Yeah.
And then obviously come down to earth with a bang, really, with trying to juggle work and trying to play football, which I found extremely difficult, and just really, really, although I did it for more financial reasons, I found it really difficult on the basis that, before when I was going at 10 and finishing at 12, I was now getting up at 8 o'clock, either dropping my children to school, going to work to 9 to 5, coming home, training on a Tuesday night, maybe playing away at Merthyr Tydfil, getting back at 2 in the morning, knowing that I've got to go back to work again on the Wednesday. So the transition from football to work and basically being in the real world of earning a significant amount of money to really earning your money, so to speak, was really a challenge for me.
So the glamour of football as opposed to the realities of harsh life, and I can understand the parallels because I've seen that in the industry that I work in as well. It's a bit of a pull you up by the bootstraps change, I suppose, in terms of existence. What can you take from the world of team sport into the world of business to give perhaps this company, your company, a competitive edge?
I think, playing in sport, and any sport you play, most of the sports are team games, and you've got to be a team player. There's no point really in, you look at teams that have got individual players. Are they successful? Can we say yes? But really the best teams are the ones that have got like a real team spirit, team bonding. And fortunate for me, I had some really good teams that I played for, and we had really good team morale. And I think that's really important. One, for building a relationship with your customer, and then obviously coming back here with the rest of my team to say, right, can you provide some design work for me? Can you put a social post out for me? So the teamwork from being on a field of play and being in work is very significant.
So is it fair to say that it's work hard, play hard around here? And I will say that in an office that is full of people who have gone very, very quiet in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Is it like that?
Well, looking around, we all work hard, and that's what we all come to work to do.
They've all got their heads down right now, but it wasn't like that 5 minutes ago, believe me.
No, yeah, like I said, we've got a great team here through all things management and all things business. We all work together, we all pull together, and Ben is very, anyone that comes and joins the business, you've got to be part of. He calls his superstars and his family, and and I think, we are a great team together, and we all work hard. We all like to socialise together if we can. Obviously, things coming up at the moment, we all want to try and get out and have a bit more social time. But yeah, as a team, we are.
Ben's not here right now. Is he Jurgen Klopp? Is he Jose Mourinho? Is he Arsene Wenger? Who is he?
I don't know how to answer that, but for Ben's sake, I better answer Jurgen Klopp because we all know he's a mad Liverpool fan, but Ben is a great leader. He's very encouraging, not only for if you've got any personal problems or anything you want to speak to him about. He's always the first one there you can ring, and no problem. He is really a good gaffer, so to speak, as I go back to my football days. But he is really, really kind to us all, and anything you ever need, he's always there.
Sport is one of those things that pulls people together. For some people, it's like a religion. I'm not saying for 1 second that it's the same parallel here in the world of work or in anybody's kind of work, but you've got Northamptonshire County Cricket Club, you've got the Steelbacks, you've got the Saints, you've got the Cobblers. It's been a tough time for the Cobblers recently, up into the first division, now down into the second with relegation. Will they pull themselves back up? Do you keep an eye on the local squads?
Yeah, definitely. The manager now, John Brady, I played with John. Firstly, I played against him when he was at Russian and Diamonds, and I was at Kettering. Then he came to join us at Kettering, and then I actually travelled to Cambridge with John every day when we both played for Cambridge. So I know John really well, and I know if they don't succeed, it will not be for the want of hard work, because John's, he's gone through the coaching badges. He went through them very early, and he's a great guy. He's passionate about what he does, and
he needed that confirmation as being the boss of the Cobblers coming into the new season, though. That will give him something to build on.
Yeah, definitely. And with, I say, Mark Richards there as well, great lads, and they are hard working. And, going back to John, he's so passionate, and to the point of whenever he trained like he played, and, he wants the best for everyone. And I think moving forward with a little bit of budget and a little bit of, luck along the way, I think he'll succeed, and I hope he does, because it won't be for the want of trying if he doesn't.
And what about for you? No longer the professional footballer, now the guy with the day job, but still with an interest in football. Do you still turn out every once in a while? Do you still have a bit of a kick around every once in a while?
I sometimes get invited back to games, Legends games at Blackpool. I've been up there a few times, but it takes me a week to recover, so I try not to. I didn't have a great injury record. I had 16 operations in 16 seasons, so medical history-wise is not great, so I try to steer away from it. But, if there was a game come up, then I'm sure I would find a pair of boots somewhere and have a game.
Team sport, work hard, play hard. Where do you see business going for all things management in the coming 12 months? We've been told that the economy is going to bounce. We've been told that the economy here in the UK is going to bounce faster than anywhere in mainland Europe. Do you see that coming with the inquiries that are coming into this building? People who want to tell the story of what they're doing in business, how business is getting back to, if not normality, then at least some kind of normality.
Yeah, I think, like you say, going back 6 months and you look around, and some businesses are going out of business. But I think, with Ben and our team, we're growing rapidly, very fast. We've got another couple of things coming up. We're going to need more people, and we seem to be growing in the right direction. And I think Ben gets the balance right. If we need more people in, then he's not afraid to get people in. So from that point of view, as a business, we are growing in the right direction. I think that everyone here, really enjoys their job. Does anyone really enjoy their job? I think, it does help if you do, and I think majority of people here really do.
Premier League for all things business, Premier League for all things management. Tom, good to talk to you.
Thank you, John. Cheers.